At 2:17 a.m., a private sleeper bus navigates a completely isolated jungle route in Odisha. On board are exactly 18 passengers and one driver, heading through heavy rain toward Kolkata. The routine of the drive breaks when an old man in a wet black coat flags the bus down from the center of the highway. This chart shows the seating logic. As the conductor processes the old man's fare, the machine throws an error. Passenger count exceeded. A physical count confirms 19 people for 19 seats. Perfect capacity, yet the system detects an unresolvable violation. The crew chooses to ignore the technological warning. By letting the bus roll on, they have effectively locked the passengers into a closed system with an unidentified variable. At 3:03 a.m., the interior lights flicker and die for a single second. When the power returns, a 10-year-old boy has vanished from the seat directly beside his assistant. The bus was moving at highway speed, with all doors and windows locked. This is a physical impossibility. There is no exit point for a passenger to leave a moving, sealed vehicle. A search of the entire cabin, from the washroom to the luggage area, turns up nothing but a single clue. On the boy's empty seat, there are fresh, wet, muddy footprints that match the shoes of the old man who just boarded. The old man's seat is now empty. The threat has moved beyond a software error. An active force is now operating inside the cabin, ignoring the constraints of spatial reality. Engine failure strands the bus in the deep jungle. The driver exits the vehicle alone to inspect the damage. When the conductor follows minutes later, he finds the driver dead. His face is frozen in a mask of terror, and the number 19 has been carved into his chest. Paranoia immediately takes hold of the remaining passengers. They begin to suspect a human killer is hiding in the shadows of the bus, waiting for the next blackout. The paranoia is silenced by the bus's rear camera monitor, which boots up autonomously. It displays grainy footage of the old man walking down the aisle toward a sleeping passenger, turning to the camera to reveal solid black eyes. The screen glitches, and the man vanishes from the feed. The passengers are now forced to accept that their assailant is a non-human entity, capable of existing both inside and outside the camera's view. Looking for any leverage, the conductor forces open the old man's abandoned leather suitcase. Inside are 18 photographs, one for every passenger and the driver. Every single one is marked with today's date as their time of death. A 19th photo sits at the bottom of the stack. This vintage shot from 1948 shows the same old man standing in front of a mangled bus wreck. On the back of the 1948 photo, a handwritten note reads, "No one survived." This suitcase acts as an execution ledger. It mathematically links the people on this bus to a tragedy that occurred over 70 years ago. An elderly passenger recognizes the wreck from the photo. In 1948, a bus on this exact route crashed into the river. 19 people died, but the recovery teams only ever found 18 bodies. This diagram suggests a deeper connection than a simple haunting. The 18 passengers on this bus appear to be a direct mathematical mirror of the 18 victims lost in the 1948 crash, drawn back to the exact point where the original death toll remained unresolved. The count is now 18. The old man reappears at the back of the bus, smiling because his historical tally is finally about to be made whole. The Midnight Express is not a haunting in the traditional sense. It is a self-correcting temporal loop designed to balance an unfinished cosmic death toll. The bus suddenly restarts and locks its doors. It accelerates toward the exact same broken bridge where the 1948 accident occurred. In the final seconds, 3 passengers manage to shatter a window and jump. The bus crashes through the barrier and explodes in the river below. When police investigate the wreck, they find a chilling correlation. The faces of the modern passengers match the 1948 archival photographs exactly. Even more disturbing is the status of the survivors. Records indicate that one of the 3 people who escaped the bus had already been declared dead 12 years prior to this trip. The legend of the 19th passenger persists as a reminder of a cycle that demands completion. If you find yourself on the Odisha route after 2:17 a.m., remember that some debts on this highway remain unpaid. Keep driving.